And of course, speaking of A- tier movies, we've got my pick of this week, that being Kill Bill Volume 2, which is of course the direct follow-up of Kill Bill Volume 1. We're still following along the bride in her quest to kill Bill and all of the assassins working under him that wronged her. In this film, we are looking at her killing Bill's brother, the other blonde chick I'm forgetting the name of, and then of course she confronts Bill herself.
Fun fact, Michael Madsen was wearing that cowboy hat of his own accord, and Tarantino hated it so much he added dialogue into the movie to force him to take it off.
Dang. That is very funny. That's a good fun fact right there. Tanner, where are you thinking of putting this one?
I am in between an A+ and an A.
Oh, I'm thinking of an A myself. Dylan, how about you?
B-.
Wow, that's very low.
I'm at the exact same rank I gave the first one, S-.
Whoa.
Dylan, why didn't you like this movie?
I don't know. It just didn't feel like it matched the first half of the movie at all, and it was the pace. If I was to assume this is one whole movie, like I guess it's insinuated to be, the pace just comes to a screeching halt, and it's just like, I don't know, it was very boring to watch compared to the first one, and it just didn't pique my interest. I don't really know what to say. It didn't hold my attention as well, and like, the acting and everything was fine, everything else was solid. I can recognize this is a solid movie, but it's just like, it had such a hard time holding my interest. I couldn't really rate it any higher than that.
Very interesting. So Dylan and I have essentially swapped places with these two films.
Well, yeah, well, you didn't like the first one for different reasons than what I don't like this one for.
Yeah. They're different films.
Anyway, go on.
So yeah, I massively prefer this one. And in fact, the fact I like this one so much better makes me think, oh, maybe on future rewatches, I'm actually not gonna have my opinion of the first one improve that much, but that's perhaps a thought for another time. What I really appreciate and what helped grab me with this one is this tone is more serious. It's easier for me to take it seriously. There's more plot in it. We get way more stuff about like what the nature of this group of people is, what the bride's origin is, why anything in the first movie happened. Like, we just get tons more stuff to grab onto that way. And I think all of the action is better in this one. The fight scene between her and Cottonmouth or Cottonhead or California Mountain Snake, I got there. I think is better than any of the other fights. The just little bit of action where she opens the door to like get the guy and he just fucking shoots her, I thought that was great. Even the goofy stuff in this movie, like with Ching Chong or whatever his name is, was still more serious than like the really over the top blood splurting sword play in the first one. My only real complaint with this one is there's some pretty goofy dialogue, both in terms of delivery and what they're saying.
I have mastered the way of the samurai sword.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd even go so far as to say I think Kill Bill has some of the worst Tarantino dialogue, which is crazy because Tarantino is known for great dialogue, and I'm not that blown away by the dialogue in these two films. But that's my thoughts on the film. Jackson.
Oh, I'd love to talk about this film. Themis is currently howling behind me, so hopefully it doesn't get picked up in the audio. Yeah, I like this movie for similar reasons to you. The first one is much more of a kind of point-and-shoot action movie, fucking slasher, basically. It doesn't take itself super seriously, and then this one, like you said, is a very different tone. By design, of course. The first one takes place much more on those like old like Asian kung fu movies, and then this one is much more of a Western, which it's the whole point of these is kind of not the entire point of the series, but a large point of Kill Bill as a whole is just to show appreciation for the different genres that he likes a lot. And I think this one works very well as a parallel to Kill Bill Volume 1. It slows down the pace a lot, it does a lot more world building, like Tanner said. It feels a lot more personal. And it was just very gripping, but for a different way. The first movie is very fast-paced and fun. This one is much more like slow and methodical. It's got some really good scenes. Tanner said he wasn't crazy about the dialogue. I agree. There's some goofy shit. Generally speaking, I don't take these movies very seriously at all, given just the whole context, but that's just me. I think some of, like, the really bad fucking dialogue, like the shit with the trainer, or, you know, fucking I mastered the way the samurai sword. I just think that stuff's hilarious, to be honest. It just adds to it for me, because I'm not taking the movie particularly seriously. So the tone of it works. I would say if I wasn't into everything else in the movie, it would be a detractor, but I am into these things, so it all just kind of, like, melts into just, like, a really fun, entertaining movie for me, you know? It does, like Tanner said, it has some really good action scenes. Everything around Bud's trailer is just fantastic. It has, like, a fucking Raising Arizona ass fight scene where people they're like bonking shit. They're trying to, like, fight each other, but they don't have enough space. You know, it fits really well. I think all of the talking between the two assassins, you know, Bud and whatever her name is, Mountain Snake, is really good too. I think the twist of her betraying him works really well, and it's done in a fun way, which is very in character for them. It's just a really solid movie. And then, of course, we've got that fantastic ending. I love the final scene where we actually see Kid confront Bill. Her name's Kid, right? It's like Kid something.
No, well, her last name is Kiddo. It's Beatrix Kiddo. Beatrix Kiddo,
that's right. I'm getting confused. But I think I love that whole scene. You know, immediately you would imagine the choices she has are really obvious, just to fucking kill him there and then. But it is a very complicated situation. She thought her daughter was dead. And I think they handle it very well, to be honest, in a very tactful way. And it kind of surprised me when I first got to it. I think it's a really good fucking scene. There's the whole monologue that Bill has that shows his, like, really warped worldview about everything, and then we get to see that Beatrice, you know, wins over him in the end because you know, her worldview is right. And I just think it's a really nice bow on the top of this film. Like the first one, very entertaining, but much more for, like, surface level reasons. This one is, like, a deeper film for me, and I like it and appreciate it for that. And I just think it's a really good ending to the story too. Like, it's just a really solid couple of movies, you know. I think it's just very entertaining.
I partially disagree with the ending bit. Like, a lot of what they do during that final section where she does confront Bill is very good, but I did find their final confrontation very underwhelming. Like, I'm sure there's a bit purpose for it to not be like some big climactic fight with Bill at the end, but I certainly would have preferred that over what we got. Like, I
think it's literally just because he was trying to take, like, Western influence, and it's, like, supposed to be basically like a fucking showdown that they're doing.
Yeah, but, like, the way Bill dies is pretty lame. Like, they really just don't give any weight to, like, this special move she pulls off or anything like that either. Like, he just stands up, walks a bit, and keels over. Like, had they, like, really emphasized each step that he took, that would have gone a long way to making that moment feel a bit more satisfying for us. But as is, it just kind of feels very hollow.
I think it worked totally fine because the audience has the implication of why she knows that catching him off guard and him accepting his fate, you know. I don't see it personally, but to each their own.
I do kind of slightly agree with Nico. As I was watching it, I was kind of expecting, like, you know, I counted the steps, and it is 5 steps, and so at the fourth one, I was like, okay, and then he's gonna, like, pause, wait there for a second, and then take the last one, and I thought that would have been much cooler looking at the very least.
I mean, what you gotta do when your fucking heart explodes, I suppose.
Well, presumably, he knows that it's 5 steps, and then his heart explodes.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one who told her about it to begin with.
True.
Like, you know, just, like, have the camera, like, focus, like, on each step or something like that, you know, again, build emphasis for it, but no, they don't do anything. It's just him walking off in the distance. And so it just ends up feeling pretty lame. But, I mean, as Tanner and Jackson have talked about already, I have basically the same praises for this film. Generally, I enjoyed it a lot more than the previous one, just because of the focus that it had on the characters themselves rather than just the action. I like the much more slowed down pace. It helped me get a lot more invested in the general story. That said, there were still chunks of the film I don't particularly care about. Like when our main character is training with the old man, it is just kind of whatever. Like the homages they have to the other genres don't really do much for me. They aren't really used to say anything in particular. It's just like Tarantino likes this stuff, so he's putting it in it. And then just the bulk of the action, I wasn't like huge into either. I did prefer it in the first one, but that said, it's fine. In this one, it fulfills what it needs to, but I just wasn't really wowed by any of it. But, there were still things I liked, the scene where she meets up with fucking Bill. Like I said, fantastic. The scene where he meets up with his brother, also great. The buried alive scene was insanely tense and well done. Love that kind of stuff. Tanner, additional fun fact, fucking Uma Thurman almost died during that scene where she was driving up to meet, that one dude in the fucking bar out in, the fucking woods or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading that. She, there was, a sudden turn that she wasn't ready for, and she fucking went off a cliff or some shit.
Yeah. Which is a real bummer, too, because I don't care about that scene whatsoever. It really bogged down the film, if anything. I didn't like it at all.
Funny.
I wish she risked her life for something a bit better there. Also, Jackson, do you know why this is? So, in the previous film, they keep bleeping out the bride's name, but we get the reveal of what it is here, and it just kind of seems pretty meaningless as to why they were doing that. It's not like a big reveal or anything. It doesn't seem to have much significance.
To be honest, not particularly. I assume it's just because it's ironic that her name's Kiddo, and Bill calls her Kiddo the entire movie, so it's just supposed to be a joke maybe in the end. But oh, her name's literally Kiddo. We've known her name the entire time, and they've been censoring it type thing, but I don't fucking know. Maybe it's deeper than that.
At that point, I wish they would have just kept bleeping her name out.
Yeah, I assume it's just Tarantino thought it was funny or something.
Okay.
Probably.
But yeah, generally, I like this film despite me bitching about it so much.
Fair enough. Do we have any other thoughts on this one?
Tanner, how do you feel about what Bill said about Superman?
I mean, he's wrong, but also, he's the villain and clearly fucked up, so...
Yeah.
I watched the same fucking Schaeferless video or whatever YouTube video we're both referencing with this.
I think that was Cosmonaut Variety
I think
Hour.
you're probably right there.
Speaking of Bill as a character, I think he's just very well cast. He's a very, both intimidating and charismatic guy at the same time. Every scene he's in, even if it's a minor thing, he just fucking steals the show. It's the way he's so slow and focused with his speech. He's just fantastic. He leaves a really strong impression on you, at least for me, in the first movie. That I was fucking dying to know more about this guy by the time we got to the second, and that elevated that final scene a lot because he is exactly what I expected him to be, and I think it's fantastic. He's a big part of why I like the series.
Well, good news, Jackson. This actor is in dozens upon dozens of shitty B movies that we'll be able to see him in.
God damn! I thought you were gonna say he's dead.
He is dead, but
yeah,
Rats.
presumably he would be dead.
Oh well, yeah. He fucking went out strong, I suppose, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he was Bruce Willis and he was just doing a bunch of bullshit to get money before he died.
I don't know. Maybe he just liked acting.
Maybe
he actually died in that scene.
For the love of the game.
Uma Thurman actually learned the five-finger death touch or whatever.
Yeah.
I do agree with Nico, though. I think the weakest part of the movie is just the fucking kung fu training scene. They don't linger on it too long, and I do think the comedy of the situation is enough to carry me through it. But yeah, it's definitely a weak. Anyways, I'm sticking at my S-.
Dude, I'm sticking at my A.
I'm gonna stick with...
I mean, you didn't decide upon anything initially. You're between two ranks here.
Yeah. That's why I'm pausing, fuckface. I'll go with the A+.
I'm gonna stick with my B-.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Wee woo, hater alert, wee woo. It lands at an A overall, one rank higher than Kill Bill Volume 1 at an A-, which honestly kind of controversial. I feel like most discourse people like the first one more than the second, but
I could understand that. Most people have very base levels of intelligence and find...
We're all big thinkers here. That's why we like the second one more, even though I rated mine.
We're anti-Reddit.
I think over... Yeah, whatever, I'm not going to get into it.